Well, while they get my presentation together, I want to talk to you a little bit about the resurrection and why it's important. You see, the resurrection of Jesus Christ is not only the central meaning of Easter, but it's relevant for each and every one of us. Why, you say? What does the fact that a guy who rose from the dead a few thousand years ago have to do with Minois? Well, the answer is astounding. It has everything to do with you. In fact, the resurrection of Christ is a story of tragedy versus hope for all of us. Tragedy, and that if Christ didn't really raise from the dead, then death is the final answer, and death wins. If Christ raised from the dead, then there's hope. And he said, as I rise, so you shall rise if you place your faith in me. And so death doesn't win. The resurrection is a story of tragedy versus hope. Now, I know that not all of you out there believe there is a God, less alone that some guy just happened to raise from the dead a few thousand years ago. And I understand that. Your skepticism is welcome here tonight. But I want you to know you are not the only one who's gone down that road of skepticism. As a matter of fact, many before you have searched for truth, meaning, value, hope, purpose, and love. And what they found is astounding. I'm going to tell you the story of one man named Sir Lionel Luku. Crazy name, but an amazing man. Does anybody know about Sir Lionel Luku by any chance? Great, I'm glad I do. This man is in the Guinness Book of World Records. He defended successfully 254 trials with a favorable win. He had one of the greatest minds in all of Britain, and he was knighted by the Queen of England for his astounding legal knowledge, thus the title Sir. He served on the highest courts of the land, and he was an atheist. Somebody asked Sir Lionel, you know, you're an atheist. Why don't we silence the Christians and this crazy talk that someone rose from the dead? And Sir Lionel thought, well, that's a great idea. I'll take him to task on that. And so he spent years of his life researching the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And do you know what he found? He said these words. I'll pause for effect. Thank you, Birmingham Dutchess County Fire Department. Do we have no, not yet. I have some nice visual aids for you visual learners tonight, so when they're going, you'll be engaging too. Sir Lionel Luku said this. He said, the case for the resurrection is absolutely astounding. It is foolproof, and it undeniably suggests that Christ, in fact, rose from the dead. Now, my goal here tonight is threefold. I want you to understand the resurrection as a historical fact, and I'm going to make a case for it. But listen, the resurrection is about so much more than just facts and figures. Because I want you to understand the resurrection as our hope. So bear with me as we get through this first part, because it's going to be a little heady, but we'll get to the heart as well. And then last but not least, I want you to understand the resurrection as our story. With that, let's see where the evidence leads. The Apostle Paul, oh, look at this, my laptop, poof, behind me. Do we have anything? You guys see anything on the screen there? Come on, all right. This will be a little awkward. I didn't know the computer was going to be behind me, so I'll just do one of these little things anytime I need to know what's going on. All right, look at this. Truth. You guys have heard this. Visual learners, are you catching up with us here? Look, that's Sir Lionel Luku. He's a handsome fella, isn't he? All right. Look at here. The resurrection as the hinge of Christianity. If you want to take Christianity down and rid people of this superstitious nonsense and this whole God concept, then you got to take the resurrection down. It's the hinge upon which Christianity rests. You see, if Christians believed in a guy that didn't raise from the dead, then we are to be pitied as fools because we have placed our faith in a hoax and a lie. In the words of the Apostle Paul, if Christ has not been raised, our faith is useless, and so is this religion altogether. A great scholar named William Lane Craig, who's dedicated his life to the study of the resurrection, found this, that apart from the resurrection, you cannot account for the Christian faith ever having even begun. So what do the eyewitnesses say about the resurrection? Well, 1 Corinthians 15 tells us this. What I delivered to you as of first importance, that Christ was crucified. He died and was buried according to the Scriptures. And then he rose from the dead on the third day according to the Scriptures. And he appeared to Peter and then to the 12. And after that, he appeared to over 500 witnesses, many of whom were still living in that day. Don't miss this. This is the central message of Christianity, and it's been delivered by Paul as of first importance. And what is it? That Christ died for our sins. If you don't hear anything else tonight, hear this. That our sins is why Christ had to die. And it's the guy in the video named Peter so articulately said, he became sin for us. And he died in our place. And because he died, you and I don't have to, by placing our faith in him. It's the ultimate exchange. And that is the central message of Christianity and the very heartbeat of our faith. Now,